Alright people, I've had my Interpet 56 for around 2 months now and I think it's time for an update. Now in this video I'll talk about every single plant that I've added in detail. I'll also cover the Scape and how it changed over the 2 months, and I'll talk on everything in between, like equipment I've had to upgrade and things like that. So yeah, let's just get started. Now let's start off by comparing how the aquarium looked at the start compared to now after 2 months. And as you can see, the plants are growing beautifully and they're literally taking over the aquarium. And the craziest thing is, people, this setup has no CO2, so the plants are literally just using the lights to grow. Now I'm guessing it has a lot to do with the substrate as well. At the bottom of the aquarium I used the Fluval Stratum aqua soil so the plants can get all of the nutrients that they need, and then I'll top the aqua soil off with some sand. The sand looks beautiful and it makes the aquarium look really natural. And I never realized this, but sand actually makes the aquarium brighter as well. Like if you use something dark like the black gravel I have in my Roma 200 and my Roma 240, it doesn't reflect the light as well, so the aquarium themselves are actually a little bit darker. But yeah, if you have natural sand, the light actually reflects a little bit and it just makes the whole aquarium a bit brighter. And yeah, the combination of aqua soil and sand works beautifully with the plants. Also, the zebra stone that I added, oh, it looks amazing, man. I honestly love the zebra stone. It looks very similar to cerulean stone, but it's a lot darker and it has these white stripes. And yeah, honestly, from now on, whenever I do see zebra stone, I'm probably gonna go and grab some because yeah, it just looks so nice, man. By the way, everything in here I got from Fish Planet, and Fish Planet is such an amazing place to get hardscape because they have such a big variety. And yeah, I thought I'd just mention that quickly as well. But yeah, let's talk about the plants in a bit more detail now. And the first thing I'll say quickly is, yes people, this aquarium definitely needs a trim. The plants are starting to grow out of control a little bit, and honestly I just wanted to let them grow out so I can do this video, so I can show you how much they've changed over the 2 months and how much they've grown. But pretty much after this video I will probably start trimming these plants because yeah, it is slowly starting to get out of control, and if you let them go out of control the tank can start looking messy. So yeah, just keep that in mind if you are planning to set up a planted aquarium as well. But yeah, now let's talk about each plant individually. And the first one I want to talk about is the Hygrophila polysperma. Now the Hygrophila polysperma is a beautiful plant. It looks amazing and it also seems to grow really fast. They have these nice green leaves with a really cool pattern on there, and they get this pink/red color right at the top, which makes this plant so much more unique. Now this plant is supposed to be a beginner plant, so you should be able to keep this plant alive fairly easily as long as you have decent lights and good nutrition in the soil and that. And yeah, the last thing I'll mention on this plant, because it does grow quite long, it is considered a back plant, which means if you do want to get this plant, the best position to plant it will be at the back of your aquarium. Yeah, positioning your plants is very important. So let's move on to the second plant, and that is the Anubias Barteri var caladifolia. Now the Anubias plants, they are also amazing beginner plants. They get these really big beautiful leaves, and another great thing is they are slow growers, so when you add them into your aquarium they are not going to take over your whole tank. And yeah, in general they just look really nice. And in regards of positioning, this Anubias plant is once again a back plant because even though they don't grow that fast, they do have very big leaves, so once again you don't want them in the front where it will block off your view of the rest of the aquarium. So yeah, they're a back plant as well, and they are also known as a beginner plant. Now the next plant we're going to talk about is the Sagittaria subulata, and that is the plant that looks like grass that you can see at the front here. And yeah, it's an amazing carpet plant. It grows really fast and it looks like grass, so it gives you that really natural look as well, and they are incredibly easy to care for. Now unlike the previous 2 plants, this one is actually a front plant, so this one you would want to plant in the front section of your aquarium because they don't grow as long, so you can still see behind them. And having the longer plants in the back and the shorter plants in the front, it will give your Scape some depth. Now the next plant we're going to talk about is the Nymphaea lotus, also known as the tiger lotus. And yo, once again, it's a beautiful and unique plant. Now the tiger lotus, it grows out of this little bulb, and yeah, the plant is so unique. They're incredibly colorful. You of course get these frog leaps, pads, or whatever you want to call them, and it just gives a completely different look to your aquarium. Now they are a bit more difficult to look after. They are known as a medium plant, and that is because they do need good lights. If you don't have strong lights, it will become very difficult to look after the plant. And I guess the last thing thing to mention on the Tiger Lotus is that it's a middle plant, so this one you would keep more in the middle, but I don't know, personally I kind of disagree with that because they also grow very long, so you'll probably be better off having them in the back as well, as long as there's a good amount of light. I'm assuming the reason they're known as a middle plant is because lights are usually in the middle, so in the middle they will get the most light. But yeah, they do get quite long, so you might be better off having them somewhere between the middle and the back, if that makes sense. But yeah, anyway, now the last plant that I added into this Interpet is the one plant that actually didn't work out for me, and that is the Hydrocotyle tripartita. I hope I pronounced that name correctly. And yeah, that plant had a really unique look as well, but like I said, unfortunately it just didn't grow. I'm guessing it needs better lights. It is known as a medium plant as well, so they are slightly more difficult to look after. And yeah, I don't really have much to say on that plant because like I said, it just didn't survive. And yeah, alright, cool. So that was all of the plants. I mean, we do have some water lettuce in there as well, which is the surface plants. There isn't really much to say about that. And yeah, those were all of the plants in my Interpet 56, and yeah, apart from the last one, they are all growing amazing, and they just give the aquarium this really natural and beautiful look. And yeah, once again people, there's no CO2 in my aquarium, so all of these plants that I mentioned, apart from the one that didn't survive of course, they do fine without CO2. I can't believe this, people. I completely forgot to talk about the Java fern. So yeah, there's some Java fern here as well. Really good plant. It grows on the surfaces like on your wood or rocks and things like that. And yeah, in overall, Java fern is a really good plant as well. Grows very nicely, very hardy, and yeah, we do have it in the aquarium everywhere. Now, in regards of the fish in this aquarium, the only inhabitant right now is my wolffish Luna, who is absolutely amazing. And she seems to love that environment. She's created her own little cave underneath one of the driftwoods, and in general she spends a lot of time just hiding amongst the plants, and she really seems to enjoy that environment. Now I should really mention that my wolffish will not stay in this aquarium forever. She will outgrow this tank very soon, and I will move her to my new aquarium, which is right here, my Jewel Prima 110. And yeah, once we've moved the wolffish over to the new aquarium, I'll be adding some of my nano fish from my Fluval Flex into this aquarium. And honestly people, I can't wait to see the little fish exploring that aquarium because yeah, it just looks really cool. And the light just turned on in the aquarium as well, which is perfect timing. Now we've spoken about the Scape, we've spoken about the plants, and we've spoken about the fish that we keep inside. The only thing really left to talk about is the equipment. Now the Interpet 56 is sold as a complete set, which means it comes with a light, heater and a filter. Now the heater and the light seem to be doing their jobs. The light is growing the plants and the heater is keeping the water at the right temperature, which by the way in my aquariums they're all at 26 degrees Celsius. And yeah, the only real complaint I had in regards of the equipment was for the filter. You see, the Interpet 56 came with the cartridge filter, and even though cartridge filters are perfectly fine filters, they work great, for me personally I just wasn't a big fan of it because the flow was really weak. And for me personally, I do prefer a stronger flow in my aquarium because I just feel like it filters the aquarium better and it's just better for the overall health of the aquarium. Now having said that, I should really mention that there are many nano fish that do prefer slower flows, which is why I'm assuming the Interpet 56 comes with a cartridge filter. For example, fish like a Siamese fighting fish or even things like pipefish and that, they most definitely prefer a slower flow. So if you're planning to keep fish like that, you'll probably be fine with the filter that the Interpet comes with. But if you're someone like me and you prefer a stronger flow, then you might want to upgrade to a stronger filter, which is what I done. I went for the Fluval U2, and yeah, that filter just made me much more comfortable. I made a whole video on it by the way. If you want to check it out, I'll put it up here somewhere or I'll leave a link in the description. So yeah, in conclusion, the Interpet 56 is an amazing aquarium. It's a great size, the light it comes with does great at growing plants, and in overall the Interpet 56 is just a really good aquarium. And yeah man, people, let me know what you think of the Interpet 56. If you have one as well, let me know what your experience is with your Interpet, and if you want to see the day I set up this aquarium, then click right here.